Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America. And hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today, before I jump into my card, I wanted to remind you, that we are in the last week of celebration, which is twice a year. Stampin' Up! Offers a collection of products that you can get for free when you place a minimum order. And there are all kinds of fun things. You've seen me use the Hippos dies and the Hippest Hippos stamp set. And this week I've been showing a couple things that I've done with the Rings of Love designer series paper. The Pool Party and Soft Sea foam cards are out of stock, but I believe everything else is still in stock. There are also some additional things they put in for the month of August that come out of our regular catalogs. So if you go to my website and click on my store and go to the celebration, you'll see all of your options available. So I wanted to make a card today with one of the celebration items that I purchased, or I purchased and got for free, these tree lot dies. Sorry, I'm getting my act together here. And they coordinate with a stamp set that is in our July to December mini catalog called Trees for Sale. Here in Australia, Christmas is a summer holiday, not a winter holiday. So I look for stamp sets that can be either season. Mostly I look for ones that can be summery, and this can be summery because you don't have to put in snowflakes. And it actually works quite well because a lot of people do go camping over the Christmas holidays here because they have time off, as you do in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's summertime. So today I'm actually not going to use the stamp set. I'm just going to use the dies, and I have a concept in mind, and I've started on it a little bit, but I'm going to do a bunch of it with you as well. Good morning to Jenny and to Lorraine. Lorraine, I hope you are feeling well today. I saw you went to the big Kiss concert last night. I hope your cold yesterday didn't make you feel bad during that. And hello, Gladys. Thanks for joining me from Michigan. So let's get started with this. Like I said, I have some ideas in mind, and we'll see how it all comes together. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it's kind of big, and I'm sorry if it kind of overwhelms the picture here for a minute. I've done a lot of the die cutting in advance. I'm also going to bring in two pieces of, this is from the blue foils pack that we had earlier this year. It is actually retired, but I like going back to my retired stash to pick out some stuff. And I'm going to do the body of the camper in the dark one. And I have some adhesive sheet on the back of this. Let's bring this into the picture a little more. Because the slick foil and liquid glue are not good friends. It's impossible to get it off if you get it on there. And then these are I'm calling them the highlight pieces. The top and the bottom trim pieces in the lighter foil. So we're just going to crank that through. And I'm going to do it twice with that adhesive paper on the back just to be sure. There we go. Pull those off. Oh, yep, that was no problem coming off. And get this out of the way here. One of the things about these dies is that they also are embossing some detail in there, which is pretty fun. Excuse me. Get that out of there. There we go. And get that out of there. And then you can see it's embossed around the window and the, yeah, you can see. I'm just checking on my camera. Okay. And let's see about putting these together. The adhesive sheet just makes it easy to line it up and adhere it down. Oh, guess what? There we go. It's shiny, shiny, but somehow, I don't know, I just like it. Hello, Renata. Thanks for joining me. Oh, yeah. Raspy voice after a concert. I think that's standard, isn't it? Whether you've had a cold or not. I was sorry to cry off from lunch yesterday, but I'm just being very cautious about getting sick. Okay, so there's the camper. I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And I've gone ahead and I've cut quite a few of the trees. And these have two layers, a solid one and then an overlay. And I've cut them in two different colors, Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. And oh, I don't know if you can hear the wind here. It's whistling in my window in my craft room here. And it's, yeah, it's annoying. And that's with all the doors and windows in my apartment closed. Usually if I open something, it gets worse. I may have to open the window in here. That sometimes relieves the pressure enough that it's not so bad whistling. So I could mix and match these colors. So I'm hemming and hawing a little bit whether I should do that, which is a pretty cool effect. Or what I was thinking was that if I kept them tone on tone and then kind of mixed up the trees together. It might seem yeah, I think I'm going to stick to my original plan. So we're going to spend a little bit of time gluing. what's going on at your end of the world while I'm doing this here. And it is possible to use your liquid glue and just get little tiny touches of glue. And it's a trade-off between whether you find it more annoying to do the little dots of glue or whether you want to deal with getting all the bits out with the adhesive sheet on the back. And I've decided to go one way today, and we'll see whether that was a mistake. So, what else do I know from here? Not a whole lot. Just kind of situation normal. There we go. Well, I know there's a big paper crafting expo here in Melbourne called Paperific, and it's been on hiatus for the pandemic, but it's back on again this week. And a couple people from my team and I are going to go on Friday. And I think a couple other people are going to go on Saturday or Sunday because they can't take off of work. And I know it's going to be crazy on Friday, but not anything like Saturday or Sunday, so that's my choice. Fortunately, it's very close to me. I have to change trams, but it really is only about 15-20 minutes away from me. So that's good. You went to where in Illinois? Yeah, once I get these glued, we'll get it laid out and see if we think we need more. Figure it all out. I do feel a little sad. I'm seeing all kinds of people doing all kinds of interesting travel. And we're not traveling. There's a bunch of Stampin' Up! Leaders who are all traveling to New Orleans to meet up. And I wasn't eligible for that, but I wouldn't have gone anyway. Stampin' Up! Event in November that we've decided I'm not going to, at least so far, and I don't think I will. We were going to go to Perth in Western Australia for a holiday and to meet some of Glenn's family, and or hopefully meet some of Glenn's family. And while there, I would attend the Stampin' Up! Event, and we decided not to do that. So, yeah. So here I've got a piece of, a layer of crumb cake that I think I'm going to use as my base for this. And like I said, I've had things in my head, but haven't actually tried it out yet. So we're going to see how we go. And if we need some more. Oh my goodness, that whistling. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Okay, so I think I do want to do something to fill in those windows. I think what I'm going to do is grab some scraps of vellum. Yep, Ottawa, south and west of, so yeah, I think I know where that is. Can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, I'm not sticking that down yet. I have a plan, but that's gonna, yeah, that's gonna be good so it doesn't, even if you see some of those through there, it's because there's another window on the other side of it, but it's not just open. It's, I like that. Okay. So there's one patch of trees back there, and another patch of trees over here maybe. And the camper in there. And I think I'm going to put in a sentiment, and I think I'm just going to stamp it directly on there. And I'm going to bring in, I pulled basic black, but I'm going to bring in some early espresso. And I think this die, it could be any number of things, but I think I'm going to use it as steps up into the camper. Oh my goodness. Itty bitty. Steps or a path or some such right up to it there. I will work on getting them straight when I go to glue them on. And I've already pre-cut a little doggy running up to it. And I made it yellow in honor of Noah. So let's see about stamping. I think what I'm going to stamp is this Enjoy the Moment, and this is a retired set, but every once in a while I go back to my retired stash and pull out something that I think is particularly appropriate. So I'm going to use that. Bring in my early espresso. Bring in a little bit of scrap. I just want to do a test. Sometimes I like to do a test just to make sure I understand exactly how it's stamping. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's get this built. So the only other thing I had to figure out was which card base to put it on. And I think maybe I'm going to just double up on the crumb cake. Because I think that's just too much different blues. Yeah, I think so. What do you think, the white or the crumb cake? One possibility would be to do another layer of green between these. That might be a good thing. Or just on. You think just crumb cake, Gladys? I've got everything everywhere. Okay, that's what we'll do. Back to plan A. Okay, there's that cluster. Put a little weight on that while we're doing this side. We having fun? I am. You like the lime. You like this as a back for the card base? Do you want it as a layer on the crumb cake? Or as a card base by itself? I kind of need to know nowish. Layer. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I was leaning towards that. Okay, let me grab my paper trimmer. That's why I said I needed to know now, because I need to be able to trim this down just a tad. Come here. Okay. You like the thin bit of green. Well, good, because that's how we're going today. Didn't get it quite enough. Okay, so let me bring in this trimmer. There we go. See if that got it enough. Come here. Man, my fingers are not working. Yeah, that'll do it. Just, it's thin, but it's there. I think that's good. Yeah? We can do this all day, can't we? There we go. That's better. It's just a little too thin before. Okay, here we go. Keep going with this. Okay, now pulling the backing off of this. At least in part. Come here. Because there's that adhesive on there, I can stick that right down. And cover that up. put that right on there. I love this Take a Pick tool. I'm not sure I can make cards without it anymore. Okay. Yay or nay on the dog? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a nice little pop of color and movement. Just taking a moment to look at it in the camera because it looks different than when you're looking at it here. When I'm looking straight on the camera, it's a slightly different view. Just deciding dog or no dog. I'm thinking maybe no dog and yes pebbles. Okay, dog or pebbles. It's very quiet. Dog or pebbles. Well, I'll start by putting that down. I think it's going to go flat. I was trying to decide flat or popped, but I think flat. And I don't usually do so much glue on my layers, but because there's a lot of weight with all of these die cuts, I put more than I usually do. And also so I get a good chance to slide it around to hopefully get it straight. Pebbles, pebbles, pebbles around the steps. Okay. I was thinking a couple here to anchor the support there. Let's start playing with the pebbles. Again, retired product, but pretty cool. And I could still do the dog if I wanted. I don't think I can do that without regretting it. Oh, maybe. Doo-doo-doo. One there is a chalk, and a couple over here as rocks in nature, I think. and no dog. Yeah, the dog doesn't quite do it for me. And I look, the stamp set, it's also just a silhouette, but a little more detailed. So, but I'm actually quite happy with that. Do a little clean up here. A couple in front of the steps. You still think so, Mom? And like right there, right there. There, we could make like a whole path going that way. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I kind of like it. It feels good to me. So, thank you for joining me today. That took a little bit longer than I anticipated. But I think I'm happy with where we got in the end. Thank you for all your input. I also wanted to remind you that coming up in September, don't forget to do celebration this month, but coming up in September, we have our Perfect Partners promotion where there are coordinating dies available for some stamp sets, and you will be able to buy them as bundles at 10% off. So don't miss out on this. You saw last week I did a card featuring the Apple Harvest bundle, and that I was very pleased with those dies, and I'm looking forward to using fresh cut flowers. And I still haven't done my Playful Piggy dies, but I will get to those. So yeah, lots of good stuff for everybody. And if you are creating, I would love to see what you are making. Please, please, please feel free to upload your creations on my Nancy's Nifty Notemakers Stampin' Community group. And there's the address on Facebook, or just scan the QR code to get there really fast. If you are not a member, it will ask you a couple questions and then grant you admission. And please upload your stuff. We'd love to see it. And I will see you back here again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.